Okay, so I just arrived at the 32 Ford Day Petersen Museum, so let's walk around and see what's going on. Well, this is it. A lot of 32s, roadsters, coupes, sedans. Yeah, I have a couple friends here. Augie, he brought his 32, and Dick is with him, so let's walk around and see if we can find him. Hey Dick, how's it going?
Pretty good. We're out here enjoying Deuce Day today at the Petersen Museum.
So you've walked around a little bit here already.
Yeah.
Somewhat. Did you see any of your favorite cars?
Oh, I saw some cool cars. I came with Augie and his 3-window. That's a cool 32 3-window. Just finished by the Kennedy brothers.
Oh, okay.
It's really real nice car. He came over and picked me up. He wanted me to bring my car, but my car's not running right now, so so I came with him.
So you say you like this?
I like this one. It's pretty cool.
Okay, let me walk around and
Got a Cadillac in it. Wow. It's got an Auburn dash, Auburn dash is pretty cool. Very traditional.
So you think it's the original Henry Ford Roadster?
Yeah, I think it is.
How can you tell?
Well, I've been around with enough of them and I can tell. Usually if I get next to a glass car, my arms start itching.
Hey Steve. Okay, so yeah, I'm running into all kinds of my friends here. Steve and so did you bring your Roadster?
Right over here.
Okay.
It's the 32 Roadster over in the corner with all the other 50 of them in.
You know Dick?
Yeah, I never met him.
This is Dick Wade.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Only for about 40 years. Yeah.
Dick was just telling me about this Roadster. I think
Knowles' car. Yeah.
Nice, huh?
It's kind of a tribute to the Nitty car. Car that was built in the 50s and Cadillac powered.
Wow. Nice.
Beautiful car.
It's a good car.
One next to it is pretty amazing too. Don't know much about it, but it's just beautiful.
So you brought your 32 today.
Yes, I did.
All right.
90th anniversary of the Deuce at the Petersen.
How long have you had this 32 for?
I've had this project for about 15 years.
Okay.
It came to me as a pair of rails that I traded a cylinder head for Dick Wade for the rails. And then maybe 6 months later, the member came from another guy, and it just kind of had its own gravity. All of a sudden, all these parts were coming my way. When I first put it together, it was a 4-cylinder B, and it wasn't fast enough, so it wasn't a very good B, and I decided to put a V8 in it. And then I took the frame down to Elco welding and had Bob square it up and weld it together because it was all just parts. Put the V8 in it and engineered a Laycock overdrive into the torque tube. So it's a traditional 3-speed 39 box with an overdrive unit. So it actually has 6 speeds forward. You can run the overdrive in all the gears.
Wow.
And, it'll go about 80 on the freeway. I don't have a tack in it, so I don't know how high it's turning. It seems to be happy at that speed. The engine's got pre-production Smith heads on it. And a Clay Smith 282 cam, fixed in manifold, pair of 97s and a white flywheel. That's, yeah, nothing revolutionary there, but it's just a great combination for the street. It's pretty tame. I like wire wheel cars, so we're running Kelsey Hayes wires and boot eye shocks because I like the pre-war. The hood came from Norm Grant and the shell came from Julian Doty, two well-known hot rodders that have left us long ago. The body's a Brookville. I just couldn't justify spending 20 grand on a body. The project would have stopped right there. It's the best you can do for reproduction.
Well, it's beautiful. Turned out real nice.
This is
Good
your
driver. I'd like to take it apart and paint it.
Choice Awards.
Make it sharp like the rest of them.
Will be happening around half an hour.
Maybe next year,
at 10:30.
because I'm driving it all over the place this
Be
year.
sure to copy a coupon win.
But a lot of swap meet parts and pieces kind of make up the mix, the headlights and backing plates and drop axle and all of that. 2-inch chop windshield, lean back a little bit. Kind of a proven formula.
What about your gauges? What's the story on your gauges?
Well, I've used the stock gauge tunnel, and I've added winged Stuart Warner gauges to it, so it's got oil pressure and temperature and a fuel gauge and a charge, you know, it shows rate of charge. But it's the original Speedo. The V8 car's got the 90-mile-an-hour Speedo, and the 4-cylinder's got the 80-mile-an-hour Speedo. So I've never seen it all the way to the end, but I've seen it over 80. It's pretty good.
Oh, you got an admirer here. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Augie Esposito. Hello, John Ferraguno. How are you this fine
He's got a
morning?
better car than mine, so it's
This is my friend Steve. You ever?
I think I've met this guy before.
Oh,
Steve,
okay.
very pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, we're hamming it up for the camera here.
You got a dog that wants to admire you. 32.
Yeah, I just bumped into it. I'm here admiring Paul Gommi's 32, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the wheels he has on it. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
What's the story on these wheels again?
The wheels are called high clearance wheels, and they were developed in 1936 because the dirt roads from the wagon tracks and then the cars, the ruts kept getting deeper and deeper. The ruts kept getting deeper and deeper in the dirt roads, and people started having problems with the oil pans hitting. So you could go down to your dealer and buy what's called high clearance wheels. They were either 18-inch or 20-inch, which is on the back of my car. Then by 1939, with Roosevelt having the National Recovery Act, the roads got paved, everybody threw their wheels away and put on their original wheels. And the only people who kept the tall wheels were early Lakes racers to up the gear ratio.
Wow. How long have you owned this car?
I've owned it probably 30 years.
30 years.
And it was owned by Carl Johnson from San Pedro and raced in the 50s, actually 49, 50, and 51. They went 128 miles an hour in this car, and Jack Ewell had a Mickey Thompson speed shop. He drove the car. And it's this is still the original paint from my arm rubbing through. It was black, and Carl, before he died, could not remember why he put the primer over the black paint.
So it's a flathead, built flathead, and it looks like it's got a Scott blower on it.
Yeah, I built this engine. It's a 21 stud. Yeah, I think it's the only one in the world with the water pumps in the heads and a Scott blower. So I had to make all the blower drive myself. Originally, when they ran the car, it was an unblown 24 stud that they went to 128 miles an hour with. This one has a lot of unique pieces. This is off an airplane, an early airplane oil filter assembly.
I notice here.
And then the air cleaners are very, very unique. There were only 12 sets made in Valley Stream, Long Island. And they're a copy of a 1950 Ferrari air cleaner. went to Pebble Beach, and there was a 1950 Ferrari, and I took pictures of it, and they match.
And the front drums, what are those?
They're 1939 Lincoln, and what is so unique, you see how deep they are?
Yes.
The wheels are in the exact same location as they were on a 32 Ford. 40 Lincoln breaks it up, are shallower, and move the wheel and everything now.
Oh, okay.
The people who actually make the reproduction brakes call them 39s, but they're not. These are 39, but they copied our 1940 Lincoln brakes.
Oh, right.
And then the headlights are called electrolines. And they invented seal beam headlights in 1939. Well, a town would keep their fire truck for years and years maintaining it. So they made these headlights to go on older fire trucks that didn't have seal beams. That's why they're all Art Deco. And every pair I've ever found, this part is red, matching, of course, a fire engine. The grill, this is called a winter front. And they hadn't invented thermostats till 1934. So they made, Klein's company made these where the grill opens and closes. So in the wintertime, you could close it till the car warmed up. The problem was the people, they had a hand control and people would forget to open them. They also had a temperature sensor in the hoses. That was another unit, and that would malfunction. So by April of 1932, Henry said, we're not selling winter fronts. So these went into the auto parts stores and were sold by Pines. And the later ones, see this, it says Pines on it. That means it was sold like in Pep Boys. The ones that have no identification were actually sold by Ford Motor Company.
Oh, okay. What's your hood ornament here?
This is the Spirit of Ecstasy, and it was copied off the Lalique crystal. The Lalique is a $25,000 piece. Somebody copied it in brass, and I have no idea who. I found it at a swap meet one day.
Well, Paul, thanks very much
Thank
for all
you.
this information.
Appreciate it.
It's a beautiful car. Amazing.